Hey everyone, I'm glad to be here with you today to discuss my map project that focuses on the story of the Scrooby group, who are actually better known by another name, the Pilgrims. This project follows the group's journey from England to the Netherlands and eventually to North America, all in search of religious freedom and tolerance. You might be asking, why the Pilgrims? Why Plymouth? But the answer to this question is really a multifaceted one. However, I think it's important to discuss. One of the most important things for me historically is better understanding the cultural genocide of the Native Americans in North America. And by studying this group and this time period, we can gain a better understanding of the root problems and the root causes of the problem. And the roots of colonization in general in North America. This project really aims to educate the viewer on what the Scrooby group went through in order to pursue religious freedom and how this pursuit ultimately set off a chain reaction of events that would lead to the decimation of millions of Native peoples. Now, I'm not suggesting that the Pilgrims are solely responsible for this. I'm just saying that when studying a problem, it's vital to examine the root cause. Next, we really need to answer why this project matters. This project matters mainly because, as historians, it's really our job to make sure that the historical narratives that do exist are balanced and without bias. Sadly, though, many historical works that focus on Native history are not balanced and include a lot of perspectives that are riddled with bias. This is something I've discovered through large amounts of research, and it's something that I personally would like to see change. And this is why I wanted to get into public history, because it's our job to cater to a different audience. I truly believe that by making history come to life, in the form of a museum, we can change the perspective of many in terms of how they see the past. Not everyone wants to attend college, and not everyone wants to read a historical narrative or book. Sometimes we have to find a way to reach the individuals that fall into these categories. Digital projects like this one, and ones like it, are so important. They help us address this need and have a wider range of effectiveness because of their accessibility. Now, to realign our focus again, we have to look further into why it's important to study the journey of the Scrooby group specifically. This group would be the first to create a permanent English colony in North America after Jamestown ended in failure. And honestly, the fate of the Pilgrims would have been much the same had it not been for a series of incredibly lucky situations the Pilgrims would find themselves in. Through this, they would gain a vital military partner in Massasoit and the Wampanoag, and a crucial New World guide into Squantum, also known as Squanto. However, let's take a deeper look at some of the more specific details within the presentation itself. One thing that a lot of people don't know, and something that was mentioned earlier about the Pilgrims, is that they lived in the Netherlands for a period of time, both in Amsterdam and in Leiden. Here they sought religious freedom and tolerance, as also mentioned previously, for themselves and for future generations. However, after some time, the group became concerned with how integrated into Dutch society they'd become, and worried even more that their children were becoming too Dutch. This would cause the group to discuss the possibility of starting a new life in the New World, and in 1619 they would get their wish and be awarded a land grant. And to discuss a point I previously brought up, and one that is highlighted in my presentation, is that the Pilgrims truly were lucky. An epidemic had hit the Cape Cod region shortly before the Pilgrims had arrived and had heavily affected the Wampanoag. The same epidemic had almost completely missed affecting their arch rival of the Wampanoag, the Narragansett. This made the Wampanoag much more willing to ally themselves with these new European colonists. On top of this, too, the Squanto, the Pilgrim's New World Guide, was incredibly well versed in English and understood European culture, as he had spent 5 years in Europe after being kidnapped off the coast and was only able to return to North America after a period of time. These two occurrences would most definitely allow the Pilgrims' new colony to survive, as it was quickly collapsing after its creation. Over half the Pilgrims would end up dying during the first couple months, if that gives you any indication of how the beginning of the colony went. Squanto would teach the Pilgrims how to survive in the New World by teaching them agricultural skills and showing them the lay of the land. Also helped them with relations with other native groups. And while I wasn't able to go into great depth in my mapping project about this, most of this is illustrated to some extent. All in all, this project is incredibly important because it lays out an amazing journey of this incredible group, and in a way that's new and refreshing. And I hope you enjoyed it, as I know that I enjoyed creating it. So thanks so much.